Well, see, that's the point I was going to make to you. So, I mean, as Mr Barnier pointed out in his speech, and we watched it here a little earlier, he said the country can't continue on this path of high debt and high deficit, which no country can. So what else can be done other than less spending and higher taxes, which is what he was proposing, right?
Well, absolutely. It's a very centrist budget. And what he's trying to do is to negotiate with Marine Le Pen's party, National Rally. He's looked to the centre-left for support. But the problem is, Peter, is that there isn't enough kind of political impetus behind supporting Barnier. So, of course, Marine Le Pen is looking forward to the presidential election, and she wants that sooner than 2027. There are good reasons why Marine Le Pen, to do with court cases, she would love for Macron to resign and for the presidential election to be called. And on the centre-left, they just don't see any reason why they should go along with a kind of small A austerity budget. Their support is built on supporting social security, very generous subsidies for French citizens and so on. And they just, the problem is the political calculus, Peter. There aren't enough people there who are kind of willing to come to the party to keep a centrist government afloat. So
you mentioned there Emmanuel Macron, the president. How much pressure is on him now to keep it all together?
Well, a lot of pressure. The one thing he can't do is dissolve Parliament. So we've had the elections. He's stuck with this Parliament now until June next year. So it's not an option for him to sort of take the ball home and say, well, we're going to start again. He has to work with this Parliament to get through budgetary measures, to pay state employees, to keep the show on the road. So this is going to be a moment where he kind of has to flex his political skills again. My hunch is that he's going to kind of bide for time. He knows that June next year he can have some fresh elections. I wouldn't be surprised if he now huddles up for a couple of weeks to try and peel off some centre-left MPs and some centre-right MPs, try and narrow that gap of 43 votes, put in place maybe a centre-left figure, someone like François Bayrou or someone like Cazeneuve, someone like that, and then really try to buy the time, buy a budget, and get himself back into shape so that he can fight parliamentary elections next year. But that might not work. There might just be not enough traction in those negotiations, in which case we'll then get a technocratic government.
There's been, you know, and just a final thought here, Simon. I mean, I remember being a correspondent in Europe during the Eurozone crisis, and just this week there are a lot of people who are drawing links from France now to Greece more than 10 years ago, and the problems that were caused there. It couldn't handle its finances. Spending was way out of control. Just for those who aren't on top of the day-to-days of what's going on in France, I mean, how bad are things when it comes to its spending and its budget and just the political picture there right now as it continues?
Well, they're bad, but it's the second largest economy in Europe, probably sixth largest economy in the world. So there is real underpinning strength there. But the problem is precisely that it's the second largest economy in Europe, where Germany as well is also flatlining. Italy's not doing very much better. The UK is in a world of pain as well. So the problem is that you've also got Trump coming in, who has kind of declared that it might have to impose tariffs against the European Union. He's going to be more isolationist, we think, than Biden, of course. And then we've got a war on the eastern flank, Peter. We've got Russia taking territory day by day. There is a great need to increase security and defense spending in Europe. So you've got all of these pressures, which we talk about a lot in Australia as well. But any French person would take Australia's fiscal and monetary position all day long. Wow. Has to be said.
Amazing. Hey, Simon, great to talk to you again. Thank you.